What is up, guys? My name's Anthony, and welcome to the first ever episode of Minecraft Creations. This is a thing I built a little while ago, and I really did love it, and I really appreciate it, and I want it to be the first thing that I actually made for it. And it's not this bed. This bed actually has nothing to do with it. It's this, and this just happens to be Telltale games in vanilla Minecraft, which, like The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead, and for this case, Minecraft Story Mode, you know, in Minecraft. I thought it made sense, and I'm still thinking it does. So we'll go over the redstone. That's all over here. This is all the good old command blocky redstone grossness. And for now, I'm just going to show you what it does. This is basically the dialogue functioning properly, and you'll just get to see that. So I'm going to step on this little red square. Oh, there it goes. Then you click on the text, and you have your answers. And I personally think I would fight some zombie-sized chickens. That's what I put in the game. It just makes sense. So it goes through all the dialogue. There's a lot to it. Alright, and that's actually the end of the dialogue. Not gonna lie. So, there's two other things, though. There is this lovely chest here that has shears, and Jesse notices that. And there's also this chest that has flint and steel. And, you know, he'll never say those things again, by the way. I'm just going to point that out now. He only says those once and only pays attention to them once. So now to get into the redstone of all that, we'll go from the very beginning and just kind of work our way through it. So, what this does, it's a little test for command. As you can see, it's kind of flashing on and off. It's testing for just any person to be in a radius of 2 of it, which is a pretty tiny radius, and it happens to fall right around here. So that's also where Jesse starts at the beginning of the game, but that's just kind of how that works. This one sets a scoreboard value of start game to 1. This one is waiting for a player to have a value of start game to 1, which will turn your begin to 1. And the reason to do that is because if I just did this test for a player and this gives you begin 1, then it has the potential to screw up quite a bit, and you know, it would just trigger this beginning dialogue a lot, and that's not good. Like this, where is it? It's way up here. Well, can't see it, but it's do the very beginning dialogue a lot, and I don't want that every time you load in the world, so that's kind of the fail-safe for that. Anyways, what happens then when it says begin 1? It tests this as positive. It will give you all this lovely little thing, which is actually nothing but tildes and spaces, and it says that. And then it gives you this command, which I'm going to scroll all the way through and then explain it pretty in depth, just so you understand kind of what's happening. Okay, so this is what's known as a tell raw command, and it's going to tell everyone. You can make it tell a certain player, you can kind of do whatever, but whatever. I just do tell all, so I don't accidentally screw something stupid up. The text is, right now we put it as nothing, and that's because we're going to say what it is here. So you go to extra, you put in extra. The actual text you're going to put is Olivia. Put all of everything she says in there, just paste it in there. Command blocks can handle it. The color of this text is gold. I've just chose gold for Olivia. That doesn't really matter. Bold is false, but you can make it true. I just didn't. I was using... this wasn't the first thing I did, so bold was just part of it, and I just fixed it to false afterwards. And then click event, so whenever you click the text, something happens. The action, and, well, click event, it does an action. The action is run a command, and the value of that command that you're running, when you click it, is scoreboard set players at P. Choice 1 is the objective to 5. When that gets set to 5, it'll trigger this one, which, actually, I probably should explain this. When this gets set to 5, all these are testing for different values. This one is testing for 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one tests for 5. That's just how that works. And they're looking for those very specific numbers because of how this specifier bracket is set up. Anyways, when that tests for 5, it tests true, it triggers all of these. All of these are your answers. So they're the exact same command. But, yeah, see, these are bolded. These are kind of what I did first. Then I actually worried about their dialogue. The color is light purple, and there's 20... Well, there's a lot of spaces in between. And he says, huh, that's just one of your answers. So all 4 of your answers are placed through here. So it tells you all of them at the same time. This one, then that one, then that one. It works out. Then when you click that, it'll set your scoreboard to either 1, 2, 3, or 4, and these are testing for that. Which, when that tests true, it'll run all of this dialogue until it gets to here, where it'll set your choice 1 score back to 0, so it doesn't ever repeat this dialogue if you like leave and come back in. And it sets your dialogue score to 1, and your dialogue score is all done over here. So when it says dialogue is 1, then it runs. All this does actually is just, it's tell raw, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Well, no, it would be, because you have to actually make it colored. So this is all just generic dialogue. Then it gets to here, and this gives you the last one, which is again clickable text that you can, when you click it, it'll set your scoreboard of choice 2 this time to 5, and then this one will set your dialogue to 0. So again, this dialogue chain won't repeat if you reload the world. And then it goes to here, does the same thing, goes to this second very small chain, goes to the third one, then goes to this third chain. And it's a back and forth process, and it just happens every time. So it's pretty basic. It's kind of a big command that you just kind of rinse and repeat, and it would be a lot. This would be a lot more like cluttered and messy. But 1.9 offered, or the snapshots at least, was when I made this. These lovely new command blocks, which are repeating command blocks. So they're constantly testing for it as long as they're always active and they have repeat and they're unconditional. So these are always testing for a certain thing without having to make an actual redstone clock, which is lovely and it's efficient and it's nice. And that's basically all there is to this dialogue part as far as like a choice-based dialogue. Then when you get to the chests they're trap chests, by the way. So these are trap chests. So when you trigger them, they actually will trigger command blocks and whatnot, which is awesome because it'll trigger this one, which sets your player's shears to 1, is just what I named it. And then this one is testing for your shears to be 1, gives you this quick dialogue. This one's testing for flint to be 1, gives you this dialogue. Pretty easy and simple, and because it is always tested as positive, it'll never say those things again. Like even if you were to reload the world, it won't say those things again. So that's good. That's really what you kind of want. Now there's other parts to this that aren't done yet, which are animation and actual physical bodies, but those are going to be done in other videos in different ways, and I didn't want to throw so much into this. I just kind of want to focus on the dialogue, and yeah, that's basically it. There's a lot to it, obviously, but it's all pretty simple. It's just one big thing that's rinsed and repeated and done a little bit differently for each situation. Other than that, it's not too complicated. So, if you have any ideas of your own, or things you want me to make, then make sure to comment those, or tweet them at me. Both those things should be in the description. And hopefully next week I'll be back with Freedom Planet, and then I'm going to throw these in every now and then, just whenever I can make a full creation, because this took a long time to make. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. We are still doing sub drive, and I think we're at 370 something, and I'd like to get to 400 pretty soon. So, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.